When you first start using your computer, you'll need to become familiar with its operating system, or OS. Most computers use the Windows operating system, and in this video we're going to be focusing on Windows 7. If you're using Windows XP or Vista, it may look a little bit different, but for the most part they work the same. The screen that you see when your computer has finished starting up is called the desktop, and this includes the desktop background and also the taskbar at the bottom of the screen. Here you'll find shortcuts to commonly used programs, and also settings such as your internet settings and the sound volume. But the most important part of the taskbar is on the far left, and this is called the Start button. This opens up the Start menu, which is where you'll go to open a program. When you open a program, it will appear on the taskbar, and this is really useful if you have several different programs open, because you can easily switch between them by just clicking. Now, if you're just starting out with computers, it's really important to know the difference between a file and a folder. Files can be documents, pictures, songs, movies, and more. Folders are used to organize all of the files on your computer, and they'll have an icon that looks like an actual folder. To open a folder, you can double-click it. The window you see here is a specialized program called Windows Explorer, which you can use to navigate to any folder on your computer. You can also open this by clicking the Windows Explorer icon on the taskbar. If you want to navigate to a different folder, you can select a different location on the left side of the window. And once you find the file that you want, you can double-click it, and it will open in the default program for that file type. In this case, it opened in Windows Photo Viewer. If you want to delete a file, then you can select it and press the Delete key. When you do this, it won't permanently delete the file, it will just move it to the recycle bin. So if you change your mind, you can still recover the file, but if you're sure that you want to permanently delete it, then you'll need to empty the recycle bin. Finally, let's go back to the Start menu. If you're ever not sure where something is on your computer, there's a good chance that you can find it in the Start menu. For example, you can go to the Control panel to adjust any of the settings for your computer. You can view Windows Help, or if you're finished using your computer, you can shut it down. If you don't want to completely turn it off, you can just log off or put your computer to sleep. So these are just the very basics of using Windows, and all of these things will become second nature to you as you get more practice. We're going to look at some of the Aero Desktop features found in Windows 7. Aerosnap, Peek, Shake, Flip, and Flip 3D. Aerosnap is a feature found in Windows 7 that allows you to snap a window to various parts of the screen. To activate Aerosnap, click and hold the title bar of any window, then drag it all the way to one side until it stops, and it will snap to that side of the screen. This feature is great to use when you're viewing two windows at a time. To unsnap a window, just drag it down. You can also maximize a window by dragging it to the top of the screen. Aero Peek is a feature that allows the user to see which windows are currently open. To activate Peek, move the mouse over the pinned icons on the taskbar. You'll see a thumbnail version of each open window. To view a window, just move the mouse over the thumbnail, and to close a window, click the red X. Aero Shake allows the user to focus on one window when multiple windows are open. To activate Aero Shake, hold on to the title bar of the open window that you'd like to focus on, and shake. Instantly, all of the other windows are minimized. To return, just click and shake again. Aero Flip allows the user to see which windows are currently open. To activate Aero Flip, press and hold the Alt key, and then press the Tab key. Now you have miniature thumbnails of all open windows. To scroll through each open window, simply press the Tab key. You can stop on any window to bring it to the front. Aero Flip 3D allows the user to see a three-dimensional view of all open windows. To activate Flip 3D, press and hold the Windows key and then press the Tab key. You can scroll through each open window by pressing the Tab key. When you get to the window that you'd like to see, just stop and let go. The Windows 7 taskbar has been improved to help you access and view your files and programs. You can pin your favorite programs to the taskbar and access them with one click of a mouse. Once a program is pinned to the taskbar, you can view a jump list by right-clicking the icon. A jump list is like a mini menu. For example, on the Internet Explorer jump list, you can access the web pages you frequently visit. If you want to personalize your taskbar, you can do this by rearranging the icons. If you want to remove an icon, just right-click and select Unpin this program from Taskbar. You can view other open windows without clicking away from the window you're currently working on by using Aero Peek. To use Aero Peek, hover the mouse over the program icon on the taskbar, and a thumbnail window of that open window will appear. From within the taskbar, you can also view and manage notifications. With one click on the Action Center icon, you can view notification messages. If you'd like to peek at the desktop, hover the mouse over the Show Desktop button in the lower right-hand corner. And if you'd like to clear the windows off the desktop, click the button. Those are some of the improvements found in the Windows 7 taskbar. In Windows 7, you can customize your PC to look and sound the way you want. And you can do this by changing the themes and by adding gadgets to your desktop. And we're going to look at both of those options today. So right-click on your desktop and click Personalize to go to the themes. A theme determines how your computer looks and sounds, and it includes your desktop background, colors, sounds, and your screensaver. Windows 7 has a number of built-in themes, so try some of the built-in themes and find one of them that you like. There are a wide variety ranging from architecture to characters to landscapes and more. And there are more themes online that you can download if you like. Now we can also customize a theme by using these four options at the bottom. So we'll start by changing our desktop background. Put a check next to any of the images that you want to see, and if you check more than one, they'll play through as a slideshow, and you can decide how often you want the picture to change. Now to use your own images, change the picture location to your Pictures library, or you can browse for any folder on your computer. And when you're done, click Save Changes. You can also change the window color. You can click on any of these boxes to change the color, and then you can change the color intensity using this slider. If you don't want the windows to be transparent, uncheck Enable Transparency. If you want to change your sound effects settings, you can click Sounds. And to change your screensaver, click here. You can select any screensaver from the drop-down list, and then click Preview to look at it. If you'd like to use a slideshow of your own photos, select the Photos screensaver, and then click Settings to change the folder. Select the wait time for the screensaver, and then you're done. So you can close this window now. Now let's look at some gadgets. Right-click on your desktop and click Gadgets. Gadgets are programs that you can place on your desktop, such as clocks, calendars, slideshows, and more. You can select any gadget you like and drag it anywhere on your desktop. To change the settings for a gadget, click the wrench icon. We're going to change our location for the weather gadget. And there are many more gadgets online that you can download. Just click Get More Gadgets Online. So these are some of the ways that you can customize the appearance of your Windows desktop. With parental controls, parents can limit the types of games children can play, which programs they can run, and more. To set the parental controls, click the Start menu and go to your control panel. From here, select Set up parental controls for any user under User Accounts and Family Safety. Note that if you're not logged on as an administrator, you will need to provide an administrator password at this time. Click on the account you would like to manage. Then click On to turn parental controls on. You can now control the time limits, which games your child can play, and whether to allow or block specific programs. Let's start by changing the time limits. Click on any square and drag the mouse. The blue areas are the blocks of time where your child cannot use the computer. When you're done, click OK. Now let's change the games settings. Where it says Can Will Jr. Play Games, click Yes. Then you can set the game ratings, which range from early childhood to adults only. We're going to select Everyone. Now some games don't have a rating, and you can choose to allow or block those games. You can also block types of content. For example, you can check each type of content that is violence related to block violent games. Note that you may not need to do this, as these types of content may already be blocked based on the rating that you have selected. So now the games are set. There's also the option of blocking or allowing specific games. When you're done, click OK. In addition to controlling games, you can also allow or block other programs, such as financial software or chat programs, or any programs that you may not want your child to use. So now you can see that parental controls are on for this account. Note that any administrator can change the parental controls settings, so to provide a safe environment, make sure your child does not know your administrator password. Windows 7 provides a new approach for accessing files with libraries and desktop search. You can view your libraries by clicking on the Windows Explorer icon on the taskbar. These are your default libraries: documents, music, pictures, and videos. Libraries give you an easier way to find your stuff, so you don't have to spend lots of time navigating through various folders. They're also integrated with the desktop search feature, which means you can search for files much more quickly when they're part of a library. To use libraries, you first have to add folders to them. Let's add a folder to our Pictures library. Right-click a folder, go to Include in Library, and then click Pictures. Now the folder hasn't moved, it's still on the desktop, but it now also appears in the Pictures library. When you add a folder to a library, its contents are indexed so that desktop search can work much more quickly. If you start typing in the search box in the upper right, it will immediately start locating matching items even before you finish typing. To be even more organized, you can add tags and other details to the files in your library, making the search much more powerful. The details that you can add will vary depending on the file type. Let's add a tag to an image. Click on an image, and then where it says Add a Tag, add a keyword of your choice. We'll type yellow. Then click Save. You can add more than one tag, just be sure to separate them with semicolons. Now when you search for these keywords, you'll instantly see those images. You can also add a search filter to filter by type, date, or other criteria. The more details you add to your files, the more powerful your search will become. If you want, you can create your own libraries. If you're working on a project, you may want to have a library so you can easily get to all of the folders pertaining to that project. Click on Libraries, and then click New Library. We'll name ours Africa. Now you can add any folders you like to the new library. So that's how Windows 7 uses libraries and desktop search to make organizing and finding your files easier than ever. In order to keep Windows 7 running smoothly, you're going to want to check the Action Center from time to time to manage your computer's security and maintenance. The shortcut to the Action Center is on the taskbar, and it's this small flag icon. And the red X symbol means that there are important messages that we need to address. Let's open the Action Center to view the details. You can also get to the Action Center through the Control panel under System and Security. All of your security and maintenance messages are listed here, and the two red items are the important messages. This means that this computer is vulnerable to viruses or other malicious software. The Action Center makes it easy to fix these problems. Just click the button on the right side of the message. We're going to want to take care of all of the red items now, and the yellow one can wait until later because it's less urgent. So now the red X symbol has disappeared from the flag icon, and we just have one message left, and it's about setting up Windows Backup, which we can choose to do now or later. But maybe we're planning to use a different program for backups and we'd rather not see this message anymore. We can click Turn Off Messages about Windows Backup, and it's going to hide all backup-related messages. If we want to turn those messages back on, we can go to Change Action Center Settings, and we can check the Windows Backup box. And you can uncheck any of these if you don't want to receive those messages, but keep in mind that if you uncheck any of the security messages, you could make your computer less secure. So now we're going to look at the User Account Control settings. User Account Control adds another layer of security to your computer by notifying you when a program or user is trying to make changes to your computer. In previous versions of Windows, some users complained about the high number of pop-up messages. And in Windows 7, you can control how often you receive those messages by using this slider. Now, to get the most security, you should use one of the top two settings, and the other two are not recommended and they should only be used in special circumstances. And if you're not sure which one to use, just use the top setting, and you can always bring it back down later if you find that you're getting too many pop-up messages. So when we click OK, User Account Control notifies us that this program here is trying to make a change to our computer. Now if this program looked unfamiliar to us, we could click No to stop it from making any changes. But since we recognize it, we'll click Yes. Remember to use caution when changing the Action Center and User Account Control settings. You can adjust the settings to receive fewer pop-up messages, but there can be a trade-off between convenience and security.